Do you want to immigrate and work in Denmark as an architect? It's possible, you just need to know how and the requirements. Watch this video till the end to learn how to become an architect in Denmark. Hey everyone, I'm Behnam from the Visa Library. This channel gives visa information and the latest news and updates. First things first, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell and download the free cheat sheet my team has prepared from the link in the description. You should also follow us on Instagram and Facebook to get the latest visa news and updates. Now, let's begin. For the beginning, I want to ask you a question. What are the requirements to become an architect in Denmark? The requirements might change by your nationality and the country where you received your degree, but this is a general list of items you need to fulfill. The first one is Danish language proficiency. When you move to Denmark as an architect, you must work with Danish architects. You will need language proficiency to understand them. Also, you need language proficiency to find a job in Denmark. Moving to Denmark as an architect is impossible if you do not get a job offer. You must be familiar with Denmark planning and building regulations laws. You must know Danish to study the rules and regulations. You must know them in detail and implement them during daily work. So you need Danish fluency to know them and perform these rules. The second requirement is an educational degree in architecture. An educational degree proves your knowledge and understanding of architecture. You cannot get a job offer without a university degree. You must know some information and techniques through academic education. The third requirement is having work experience. Having enough work experience as an architect is one of the important requirements. You need it to prove you can work as an architect. Danish employers look at your work experience carefully and determine whether you qualify. Also, the Danish immigration officials will look at your resume to know about your background. The fourth requirement is having a job offer. The first step of your journey is to get a job offer from a Danish employer. You cannot become an architect in Denmark without a job offer. If you're from non-EU country, you need a work permit to work in Denmark as an architect. Not only an architect, but every non-EU national who wants to work in Denmark also needs a work permit. Remember that you may not work as an independent architect in Denmark. You must work with a Danish company and licensed architects in the country to familiarize yourself with Danish planning and building regulation laws. You have to work for a few years with them and then you might be able to work independently. The fifth item is knowledge of planning and building regulations law. Danish planning and building regulations law are different from your home country, so you have to know the Danish rules and get familiar with them. Your language fluency must be good enough to read expert architecture texts. You must be fluent enough to pass the interview with the Danish employers and their team. Now that you know the requirements, what procedure must you follow? Stay a bit longer to find out. First, you must work on your Danish language proficiency. The authorities are strict about it and there is no exception. You must obey them and act accordingly. You must read the rules and regulations in detail with care. This is not a simple language test, but you must learn and memorize the rules. Then you have to find a job offer from a Danish employer, so it's a must to speak with him or her and pass the interview. After you get your work visa and enter Denmark, you will have to work with Danish co-workers, so you will have to understand them and cooperate well. The next step is to find a job offer from a Danish employer. It's a must and you must do it. There is no other choice. Why? Because the employer must get the authorization so you can work as a foreign or non-EU person in Denmark. EU nationals do not need the permission to work in Denmark, but non-EU nationals need it. It gets called the work permit. Only the Danish employer can apply for a work permit. You need an employment contract so the employer can apply for a work permit. You can find a job through the websites that advertise job positions in Denmark or get help from employment agencies. After you find a job offer, you must sign an employment contract with the Danish employer. The contract is part of the supporting documents to apply for and receive the work permit. It must cover every aspect of your employment and describe your tasks in Denmark. This is a sample of the items you must include in your contract: job title, job description, team and department assignment, role requirements, skill requirements, annual salary or hourly rate, raises, bonuses, incentives, opportunities, health benefits, company stock options, investment or retirement plans, bonuses. If you know other necessary items, you would better include them in your contract and negotiate with the employer. After finishing the work contract, you send some supporting documents to the employer and he or she applies for a work permit. You can learn more about Denmark work permit, work visa requirements and application form from the visa library article or the video we have prepared on our YouTube channel. At this stage, let me ask you this. How hard is it to immigrate to Denmark? It depends on your skills to move to Denmark on a work visa. If you're a highly qualified skilled worker and your skill is needed in the country, it's easier to get a job offer and move to Denmark. But if you're not a skilled worker and your language fluency is not good, it's unlikely that you will manage to get a job offer. The process is easier if you are familiar with the planning and building regulations in Denmark and your language fluency is good. But there is another way to become an architect in Denmark. It's to study a related subject at a Danish university. The possibility of finding a job is higher as you are familiar with the Danish planning and building rules and have a degree. You must find an architectural program, learn and fulfill the requirements. Then you must apply to the university and wait for the admission letter. After the university grants and sends the admission letter, you can apply for a Denmark student visa. You can learn more about Denmark student visa from the visa library article or watch our prepared video. Alright then, this is all you should know to become an architect in Denmark. If you have questions, write them down in the comment section. The visa library team will answer them. Before you leave, make sure to like this video, hit the bell and don't forget to get the free PDF file from the link in the description. You should also follow us on Instagram and Facebook to get the latest visa news and updates. Stay tuned for more videos and updates. Thank you all for watching.